Yo. Okay, there it is. How y'all doing? Good morning to you. Yo, I ain't even smoking the weed yet. I'm about to light up on the program. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome to another episode of William vs. the World. This is a music... It's partly a music education, but it's more like a conversationalist program, and I take the, 5 to 15 largest stories around the world regarding the music industry, social media, and technology. And then we put it up on the screen and we talk about it here. That's what we do. Oh my God, is it Wednesday? Oh, maybe that's why Zach called me. Okay. I forgot it was Wednesday. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was Tuesday. There you go. Now we about to wake and bake then. I didn't know that. Wake and bake Wednesday. If I'd have known that, I would have done... Man, I would have read comments today. Damn, I'm off. I'm off. You're on. And I'm off. That's alright. It's not a perfect world. I appreciate you guys being here. Hey, I just want to remind everybody, I know some people view the material here, and, we get messages time to time of people that are sensitive or people that are uncomfortable with some of the content that I present here in the morning. I've been hearing a lot. Some people are upset or confused or... we come on only for 1 hour a day. It's only for 1 hour. We come on 1 hour a day, and we talk about the top stories in music news. And some people don't realize that some of their favorite celebrities and some of their favorite bands are in the top news. Okay? So I know some people have seen the Puff Daddy and the Marilyn Manson stuff. I'm not going to cover it today, but I know some of you are upset that we've covered those stories, or you guys are upset that those stories are in the news, and I know you want those stories to go away, but I'm here to tell you that I don't give a fuck. You see that? You see what I just said? So to all you people out there, as I said, I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. We don't make these stories up. I'm not enforcing a judgment. I'm not coercing for an admission of guilt. I'm not the state troopers. I'm not a policeman. I'm not an investigator. I'm a guy online that reads the top stories in the music news. And it just so happens that this week it's been Puff Daddy and Marilyn Manson. So for all of you out there that sympathize with people that have rape allegations, for all of you people that sympathize with those type of people, I never said that they were guilty. I never said that I was the courtroom. I'm just reporting on an article, man. I wasn't there. I'm not a forensic scientist. I'm not for or against any of these people. I think it's important for you all to come to grips and common sense and realize that if you have a problem with these stories, then why don't you go talk to Marilyn Manson about it? If you have a problem with the nature of the story that I'm reading, then get off the internet. If you have a problem with the allegations against Marilyn Manson, then go talk to the California Sheriff's Department. It's not my fault. So, I know a lot of people, that's the only thing I'm going to say about it. I know a lot of people, they take their position because they're passionate and they feel like they want to protect their favorite artists, and I don't blame them for that at all. However, I'm not the kind of guy that is hoping that these guys are guilty. It's almost like I'm reporting on it. And I think some people misunderstand me reporting on it as, like when I report on Spotify, when I report on Marilyn Manson, when I report on the suspicion of Puff Daddy, when I report on the allegations, or when I report on Jerry Lee Lewis, when I report on heinous sex offenders in the music industry, it's not because I like it. It's not because I want it to be that way. In fact, I hope, listen to me clearly, I hope that Marilyn Manson winds up being cleared of all allegations. Did you hear what I just said? Because if he's cleared, then nobody was hurt. Then it proves that nobody was hurt, and then it's all bullshit. It's not like I want these things to be true. Okay? So, once again, we read the stories here from the top stories in music news. Especially if it's rock and metal, it's going to funnel its way down right here. And we're going to read the articles, we're going to go over what the articles say, and we can develop our opinions after the fact. After the story. We can develop our opinions and talk about it. But I don't write these articles. I didn't arrest Marilyn Manson. I didn't put him under investigation. If people are mad that Puff Daddy is under investigation, then send Puff Daddy a letter. You know what I mean? If you're upset that I'm covering Spotify, if you don't like that Spotify abuses musicians, then go say something about it. That's it. So I know some of you here, it's only an hour, you guys. It's 1 hour. You guys have the choice to be online or not. You have the choice to follow my page or don't. You have the choice to listen to the stories or remove yourself from the room. You have the right to disconnect. I know that there are some people here that want to listen to music and you're friends with Melissa, and that's fine. Some of you are here to hang out with Rob or go to the shows. But there are people here that also just like the podcasts and the live streams. So Sepsis is not just a band. We're not just rock and roll. We're not just metal. We're not just men. We're not just white. We're not just boys. We're not just girls. We're a diverse band. We're a big, diverse community of creators. All of our staff members are musicians. All of the people that work here at Sepsis are all creators and artists and musicians. We are a wide body group of diversity, different colors and shades and genres of people. That's who we are. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. It's not, we don't read the stories and then judge on them. That's not really what's going on here. We read about Spotify. I'll develop my opinion. You'll develop yours. Sarah will develop theirs. Not everybody in my band feels the same way I do. Well, you have to ask them how they feel about it. So there may be something on this program that I cover, and it's my opinion, and you guys don't agree, or maybe my bandmates don't agree with me. That is entirely possible. On our podcast, we have the Honeycomb Hideout tonight. There's 4 different opinions and 4 different flavors on the podcast. Not everybody in my band agrees with me all the time, and neither will you. But when I read a report or when I read a blog or an article from an author, I'm going to read through the article, and then we can develop our opinions about the article after. That doesn't mean that I'm saying that somebody is guilty. That doesn't mean that I'm taking a position of authority. What it means is that I have a program here, and for the hour, my commitment each day is to go find the top stories in mostly independent music, but it's to find the top stories in music. And funneling down, if I see rock and heavy metal, I'm going to prioritize it because we're a rock and heavy metal band. So we look at it like a tier list of priorities. Like on this particular program is different than the Honeycomb Hideout. So We want a balance of education, news, entertainment, and that's what we do every day. We try to go grab a little bit of the news, a little bit of entertainment, and through all, we try to present a diverse program. Sometimes conversations are powerful enough to keep us going for the hour. That happens. I think sexual assault is a big problem in music, and if you feel differently, then you should probably get the fuck away from me. That's the reality of it. My mission, as I promised that I would as a little boy, that if I was to become successful in music, that I would use my platform and I would use my art to tell my authentic story about abuse and recovery, and I would use my platform to protect women, children, and I would protect the weak with my success and achievements. Now, maybe that's something that you don't want to do, but that's what we do here. A lot of bands don't have any involvement in that. For a lot of bands, all they want to do is make money and be famous and be worshipped by other people. That's not our mission. Sepsis' mission is to provide access, education, to encourage growth and conversations that lead to hope. We're not just a band. We're not just a podcast. So if you're just a band, then go be just a band. You don't have to worry about what we're doing here. Go make music. Scott says it right here. The truth is too strong for certain people. And that's kind of what I'm saying, Scott. I'm trying to responsibly encourage people to get the fuck away from me if they don't like what the authors write about the celebrities. Like, the authors will write something about the celebrities, and I'll come here and I will read what the author wrote, and then I'll have some additional comments on that, you know? That doesn't make me an expert. It doesn't make me a parole officer. It doesn't make me the authority. It doesn't make me the judge. It just makes me the person that's sitting here reading the article. I'm just a person that's reading an article. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm the one that's accusing Marilyn Manson of raping me. I didn't say he did anything to me. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm making false accusations about Puff Daddy. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, if an author writes something about Spotify, and in the article the author says, seems to me like Spotify is stealing from musicians, this is something we should all look at. If I read something like that, even no matter what side of the spectrum that I'm on, if I read something like that, it's not like when people really favor a certain celebrity, it doesn't matter what type of evil that celebrity has done. Whoever is making that accusation is the bad person, you know? So I'm not writing these articles. It's not like I wrote an article about Marilyn Manson and then put it up. I'm reading an article. It doesn't really matter to me the details of the article. I'm reading the article, and then us as people, as fans, as musicians, as the real community of rock and roll, we talk about it. See, a lot of times conversations come into rock and roll, and then we leave it up to Billboard to talk about it, or we leave it up to the bloggers to talk about it, or we leave it up to Metal Injection to draw or illustrate a story about it. Instead of that, when there's stories about Marilyn Manson or Puff Daddy or Spotify or whatever it is, we put it on the screen and we read it here for everybody, and everyone can go over it themselves. People can cross-reference. Folks are welcome to go do their own homework. But let's make one thing clear. I didn't launch an investigation on these people. You feel what I'm saying? It's not like I'm saying that they're guilty. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'm reading an article that provides information that the county sheriff's department in California has an investigation against Marilyn Manson. I didn't launch the investigation. I didn't write the article. He didn't assault me. There is a woman that says that he assaulted them. I'm reading an article that says that somebody says. You could do with it what you want. You know what I mean? If the sheriff's department runs an investigation on Marilyn Manson, how does that make me a bad guy? You know what I'm saying? Like somebody said yesterday, oh, Will, you better stop defaming, whatever the hell that is, defamation or whatever it is. I said, that's not defamation. You're more concerned in me breaking the law of defamation than a pedophile? I mean, I'll gladly defame a pedophile. What are you talking about? People are more interested in whether William is breaking the law than whether Marilyn Manson's breaking the law. That's really weird, considering I've never been accused of raping women. What? Like, don't kill the messenger. I'm not accusing him. Some girl's accusing him. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just news. Right, I'm saying, right, Scott. Right. It's not like I told him to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not accusing him. What are you talking about? I didn't write the article. I'm not the sheriff's department. I'm not accusing him. I'm not even saying that he's guilty. I don't know if P. Diddy did anything. We'll find out, won't we? My point was, when we talk about Puff, we have no problem with trashing on him and talking shit about him and ripping him off stage and doing funny memes. Why don't we take Marilyn Manson off stage and do funny memes and all of that until the charges are cleared? That's what I said. That's what I said. I think all sex offenders should be cleared of their charges before returning to perform in front of women and children. Who disagrees with that? Like, think about if it was me. Think about if I was accused, you know, of a heinous crime. Wouldn't you imagine, like right now we're playing at Rockfest, you know, it's 50,000 people there, all ages, all the other stuff. Do you think that if I was under investigation by the California Sheriff's Department, do you think that I would be playing Rockfest? All right. So that's what it is. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because it's not in the news today. But I'm telling you, if it comes back and you are triggered by what the authors write about your favorite celebrities, it's not my band's fault that your favorite celebrity is being accused of a heinous crime. You just got to have some common sense on that. Or, you know what? You got to remove yourself from the page. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people. I'll let you speak your mind for a while, and I'll let you have a paragraph and state your case. But at some point, we got to agree to part ways, you know, for the sake of respect. You know, if you love Marilyn Manson and Puff Daddy and you're in their corner and you want to support them, I am not an obstacle to you. However, in the same respect, I'm a supporter of women and children, and I'm not going to allow you to be an obstacle to me. So you can support Marilyn Manson, and I'm still on the side of women and children. It doesn't mean we hate each other. It just means I don't like rapists. It just means that I am boldly outspoken when it comes to abuse of children, and you are not. I'm extreme with it. I am extreme when it comes to protecting women and children. I'm extreme. You're not. You don't. Maybe you're relaxed when men abuse women and children. You have a relaxed and flexible point of view. I'm not flexible. I don't have a flexible point of view when it comes to protecting the weak. I don't have a flexible point of view because I'm not weak. So when it comes to protecting the weak, I am strong. Some of you men out there are not strong enough to protect the weak. I understand that. Some of you men out there are only strong enough to protect yourself. I'm strong enough to stand with women and children. That's the difference between me and most men. I don't fear other men. So you guys continue on with the boys club and I'll kick it with the chicks. Pussies. That's why the girls like me. Let's get into some news. That's not what I wanted to cover. Oh, here, this is good. This is good today. We're just gonna check out this Disc Makers blog. I really feel like I should light this joint. Should we light this joint first? Put a one in the chat if I should light this joint. Yo, it's getting hot. And we don't have a fucking air conditioner. We might not even do the show tonight. It's too hot. It's too damn hot. Scott says, as a father and someone that is a victim of abuse, you have a strong opinion of it. It does trigger me more than anyone else. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. And it doesn't get me to the point, Scott, of where I have a rush to judgment. It doesn't cloud my common sense. I've said the entire time I am in favor of a formal legal process where the evidence can be reviewed by a jury of their peers. I have said that over and over and over again. I didn't say that Puff Daddy did anything. All I did was read the article. I didn't say that Marilyn Manson was guilty. What I said was, if it was me and I was accused of sexual allegations, people wouldn't defend me. That's what I said. I said if I was being accused of a crime, I wouldn't have a whole bunch of people. If I was accused of a heinous crime, I wouldn't be on tour or signing record deals. That's what I said. I never said he was guilty for a crime. I said most sex offenders would not be signing record deals. That's what I said. What are you talking about? If you know what I'm saying, if you drive an ice cream truck and you use the ice cream truck to lure in and hurt young people, then why the fuck would you be allowed back in the ice cream truck to continue a career of selling ice cream to little kids? If you have double-digit allegations of people in your life saying that you've hurt them, and you have current investigations in court cases against minors, if it was my festival, Marilyn Manson wouldn't be playing until he cleared all of his charges. That's what I'm saying. Because I would rather book an act that has no pending sexual crimes against them. I would choose another act that does not have sex crimes. My question was, is this the best that we could do? It wasn't that he was guilty. I never said that Puff Daddy was guilty. I said, is this the best we can do? I never said that Marilyn Manson was guilty. What I said was, and I asked all of the responsible men in the party, if it was you, do you think you'd be going on tour? Do you think they would let you back to your job after people, allege that you did all this type of abuse to them? Would they allow you on stage? That's what I said. John said it first. I wouldn't share the stage with a fucking Skinner. And that's it. That's it. It's not about an assassination. It's not about defamation. It's not about reporting on something that isn't factual. It's saying if I knew one of my closest family members was under an investigation for a sex crime, I tell him to take a seat and come back after his charges were cleared, after the allegations were cleared. That would give him a better opportunity to come back and work for me. Do you get it? All right. Thank you. Scott, you help me. That's it. That's it. You're right, Scott. I'm glad I got you guys in here, because if it's not for you, I will never stop defending women and kids. And it will get redundant. I will never back down. I will never get tired of it. So thank you for giving me the power to move the fuck on. Today I did want to go over, I know a lot of folks are trying to learn a lot more about the music industry, like, you know, the difference between a manager. What is an A&R? You know, you hear these words. What's an executive producer? What's an engineer? What's a beat maker? Right? These are all type of different, these are all type of different titles that people hear in music all the time. And a lot of folks might not know the difference. What do you guys think the difference is between a producer and an engineer? Do you guys know? Holy shit, Sean's in the room. What up? Brother Sean, what's going on? Yo, it's nice to see you, brother. I know. Sometimes it's difficult to make it, so I'm always blessed when you can make it here. I appreciate you, Sean. Much love to you, man. I hope you're having a great day. So I hope this helps out. I dug up this little article, hoping that some of my friends could learn a little bit about the difference between a music engineer and a music producer. I never knew that there was so much confusion about it. As a musician, you probably heard talk of producer points, something along the lines of, as a record producer, I want 3 points on that recording. Have you ever wondered, what the fuck does that mean? Diving into this question to explain what points are, how they work, when a producer should get points, and whether and when producers may be entitled to songwriter split or your song they just produce. But let's start with the basics. What is the difference between a producer and an engineer, and what is an executive producer? Are you running away? Because I'm about to light this joint. If you want to. No, you're fine. You're fine. The fellas in here are helping me with my therapy.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm talking about something different today.
Oh, okay.
I've been in
therapy and I went.
No, I'm giving you shit.
Okay.
So this is the author. My personal experience in the music industry and music business may not be too different from what many independent artists goes through. You see, way back in the day when I went into the studio with my band, we had our songs, we liked them, we were broke, and we were ignorant. That sounds like me. The studio came with an engineer who recorded and mixed our album, and that was fine, but it may not have led to the best sounding album possible. We couldn't afford a producer, so what's the difference, you ask? This is very good information, especially for you. Especially for home recording, all of you folks out there that are doing home recording and tracking out your entire band. It's 11:11. What the main difference is that while the producer and the engineer both have a healthy understanding of the technical aspects of music production, producers have an added level of artistic and creative vision to make a recording, musical arrangement, and performance the best way they can be. As such, while many music producers are also good sounding engineers, sound engineers don't necessarily make good producers. How many times have I said that to engineers that have worked with us? Every time. Every time. This is a huge joint.
I'm looking at it.
I didn't realize it was massive. The role of a music engineer. Your recording engineer is an audio engineering technician. He or she sets up the recording studio and the recording equipment, chooses and places the mics, and operates the soundboard and other equipment during the recording session. If you have a producer, the engineer works under the supervision of the producer. The engineer's main job is to use his or her technical skills to make sure the producer and artist's vision come to fruition. Often, the audio engineer is also responsible for mixing the recorded tracks. Put a 1 in the chat if you knew that. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't know that. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't know that. Hey, good job, Sean. This is good. This is good for you, Sean. I know. I figured Scott would, maybe Hans. Wow, good, John. Good. I was hoping I was going to see some 2s, because I'm like, if you guys already know this, I'm moving back to Marilyn Manson. No, I'm just kidding. Joke. It's a joke. My staff reminds me of how redundant I can become, but I promise you that my intentions are good. Okay. The role of the producer. Let's get into this. I was hoping to see more 2s, because if I see more 2s, then it means we're teaching. If I see 1s, everybody knows everything. As a producer, largely, it is the creative leader. The producer is the creative leader of a recording session or the album. He or she is in charge of the sound, the vibe, and the overall recording. As such, a producer may rearrange the songs, coach musicians on how to play on a track, help the recording artist pick which songs to record, mix the recordings sometimes, decide the sequence of the album tracks, and maybe even play an instrument or add sounds to a recording.
They're the leader. They're the leader and they're the manager.
In fact, a hip-hop producer, this is a little bit different, guys, so pay attention. A hip-hop producer may do even more, actually creating the beat or even the whole track. If you think of a successful producer like Rick Rubin, a producer may even play psychologist when the band members during the recording session. In short, a good producer is super important contributor to the creative process and the recording, and may even apply music theory when arranging and producing music. Okay? So now you might be wondering to yourself, well, what the fuck is an executive producer? So what does an executive producer do then? While the executive producer can sometimes perform many of the producer's functions, they usually have a financial and administrative role, overseeing the recording budget, hiring session players, and securing funding for the recording. In other words, on most indie recordings, the person getting credit as executive producer is usually the one paying for the project. You hear what I'm saying? So there you have it.
Wow.
Did you guys you guys like that one?
I did not know that.
That's so now when everybody, I want to share that really because my staff members understand this, but like our fans don't know what I do in the band. They think I play guitar, and I do. That is my performing role in the band. But if I wanted to, I could step off stage and you would see my band can hold their own without me. They'd be able to play every single song without me, and it would sound exactly the way it should. And that's because I've produced it. My band is capable of going on tour without me, and that's because I'm the executive producer. Glenn Robinson is a producer and engineer of Sepsis, and I am the composer and executive producer. So now you understand a better understanding. And people are like, what does Melissa does? She sings.
And runs it.
And yeah, she sings, and she's like, I would say she's the brand ambassador.
I like that.
You know what I mean? She's like the face, you know?
That sounds fancy.
That's basically what that is.
I like that.
So I hopefully that, now not every band or every musician uses that. Here you go. I know there's a little bit of AI news today, but I just want to talk about it as far. Oh, it's still lit. Oh, okay. As far as like search engines go, because our story is all about search engines. Our band, we told you a little bit yesterday, our entire history, our story has a lot to do with search engines, and that's all changing and becoming something new again. So I figured I would introduce you all to the new search engine of the world. And, you know, artificial intelligence is going to be now a part of the way we search for things online. You know, you've heard Lexi and myself on the Honeycomb Hideout cover, you know, search engine technology and SEO, traffic, brand discovery before. And as we've shown, it's really an algorithmic and pay to play, you know, kind of game where the once again the people with the most money usually get the top search results. So like searching for things, you don't get accurate things, you get popular things. Does that make sense, you guys? So, you know, instead of searching for something and getting or seeing options of what you might be looking for, a lot of times you're only being shown what the top advertisers or search query masters have manufactured. Let's see if AI is going to have any difference. Do you guys at home predict that search is going to be any better? Let's ask everybody in the chat. Do you think search is going to be better or worse with artificial intelligence? Yo, Scott, that's no lie. Melissa is the queen of the hive. That is no joke. She is such a great businesswoman, and no pun intended, she is such a great businesswoman and hive mind. For you business people out there, Melissa has the hive mind. She knows team sports. She's the master of her department. Like nobody beats Melissa at what she does. Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like there isn't one person I think in our staff right now that is weak. Everybody does such a good job at what they do. Like I could never do what Melissa does, you know? And like Zach has his own grand quality of skills and packages and different things he brings to the table. Even like Allison and Bob and Lexi, and I mean just everybody has. You too, Hans. I know you were gonna fucking. I'm not even gonna look at. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna. He's not. I'm not looking at the screen. I refuse. I don't want to know what Hans is gonna say. I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna stop.
I hate when people
I'm going back. I'm moving. I'm running away. I'm going back to the news, like Scott said. That's what I'm doing. I know it's best.
Don't start, Hans. I hate when people do that.
So when Google's search results go full AI, what the fuck then? What does the arrival of artificial intelligence generated topic summaries in search or AI overviews, as Google calls them, what does it mean for SEO, referral traffic, and brand discovery more broadly? What does it mean? These are the questions that many are asking after Google showcased its new Gemini-powered generative search experience, which will bring ChatGPT-like responses into search. All right, just a brief bit of negativity. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what? Fucking who gives a fuck? I mean, it just seems like we don't have a choice, is what I mean. Like, what do you think about it? What do we think about Google? It's broken. What do we think about Halo? What do we think about the internet? Do we like the internet? Do we think, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think the internet is the best it could be. Put a 2 if you think that's fucking bullshit. Hold on, let me do this for you, because I'm putting 2s all up in this motherfucker. You can have your own opinion here. I'm not going to make fun of you. Put a 1 in the chat if you love the internet. It's perfect for you. Put that. I'm saying I'm going to put a big fat 2. I can't fucking stand it. It's broken. We only have 2 choices, Samsung or Galaxy. We got 1 cable company. We've got 1 of everything. It's like Nike or Reebok. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you mean? Metallica or Megadeth. iPhone or Samsung. Yeah, it fucking sucks. Thank you for being real, you guys. No, that's why I like this crew. They keep it real. I need some sort of fucking foundation in my life. You guys are it. No, but seriously, a lot of people feel that the internet is not only weak, like with search results, and a lot of people feel like it's not doing what it claimed to do when we all signed up. You know what I mean? Like when we all signed up for the internet, it was supposed to do stuff, remember? Scott says, I actually believe that technology will be the end of the world. Ooh, that's terrifying as hell. You might be right. I'm not gonna argue with that, because I don't know. What I will say is I have no clue. All I know is it's broken. It doesn't work. You know? At every tier of the stuff, we pay for it. That's the problem, you know? The internet is almost like bottled water now. You know, like water should be free. I mean, it's in your body and all of that. But they put it in a plastic case, and then you have to pay to get it out of the case. The internet feels like that. All right. I know you can't see here, but it does say, as you can see in these examples, the new search experience, which is already in the process of being rolled out, whether you like it or not, will provide generated answers to some queries ahead of actual website links. But, like, no, it won't. Because if you look up pussy, it's not going to jump in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only going to allow you what its supervisors want you to see. Like, you can't search for things. You can't search and get a result for something. You can only search, and then what the supervisors and the developers want you to see first is what you're going to see. Like, I don't care if there's AI or not. If you go in your, like, wherever you guys live, like, everybody put where they live right now. Those of you that are comfortable and not scared to death. I live in New Hampshire, so like if I go on to Google right now and I let's do it. Let's just do it. So here I am, Google, right? And I'm going to say top 50 independent unsigned rock and roll bands in New Hampshire. No. So it only gave me This is what AI said. Now the first thing. When you look up New Hampshire bands, so remember the search query was top 50 independent unsigned bands from New Hampshire. It doesn't give, so AI overview is at the top. It didn't give me any search queries. Okay, let me just show y'all so y'all see. All right, and I've never heard of these bands, so I'm just gonna give them a shout out. Why not? You know. Perspective, A Lonely Hand to Hold, Sir Baby Girl, Roots of Creation, 19 Miles Per Hour, Jake McClave and the Countertops, Harsh Armadillo, Deep Leaper, and Oklahoma. Okay, so I mean, there's some bands for you. Okay, none of them of which I know nothing against them. I'm sure that they're really talented, but I've been playing music in the state my entire life. I've never fucking heard of them. Here's the other problem. What did I say? I said top 50 independent unsigned. It didn't give me 50. So what is AI supposed to do that search wasn't doing? So last time we had Google search, we searched for stuff like this, and it won't give you what you search for. Let's do this. Let's do top 50 independent metal. Let's define the search. Now the new search is top 50 independent unsigned metal bands in New Hampshire. Let's see what it says. It gave me the same exact bands. Are you telling me all of those bands are heavy metal bands? Before I didn't search heavy metal. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I said top 50 independent unsigned metal bands, and AI says here is some independent artists from New Hampshire. No, I said top 50 metal bands. And then it gave me 5 bands that aren't metal. So why do I need to be excited about artificial intelligence? Why do I need to fear it? Okay, we can fear it maybe in 500 years, but as it's going right now, it can't look up metal bands. I wouldn't be afraid of some robot that can't look up the coolest bands in New Hampshire. New Hampshire's small. That's like saying, can you look up 50 bands in New York? That's tough. That's tough. Bro, there's not 50 metal bands in New Hampshire. Why can't it name 50? They're all here. I know them. I'll call them on the phone. How come I know the top bands in New Hampshire and AI doesn't? What would I need AI for then? No drop calls. Like, what are you talking about? I'm showing you. Let's see what Google said. So AI is so good it can't name 10 bands from New Hampshire. Why would I need a product like this? Why would I ever pay or consider trusting a product like this? I can't look up anything. This is supposed to be the most powerful search engine in the world. They're claiming that AI is changing our lives. Like, who's buying that? It's that I can't even look up stuff I like. Like, I can't look up. There's probably 30 or 50 that's a stretch. No, that's true. If you can't rely on AI at all for anything, you can't. So you can't. So what I'm saying is the internet is broken. You can't search for anything. You can't look up anything, and AI doesn't know what it's talking about. So what does it do? You can't even look up porn with AI. So what does it do? You can't look up heavy metal and porn? What's the fucking point? What do you guys do for fun? I'm out. So what do you do with the internet now? The only thing you're allowed to do is fucking shop. It's a shopping mall. Chad says nothing. He's right. Chad, you're right. Chad, you're getting some music. What the living fuck? Bro, it's like North Korea. It's like, I'm serious. It's the worldwide nothing. Everything is geared up towards little kids and games and fucking cosplay. Literally, there are no places for adults. I'm serious. Everything is customized for children. We're obsessed with children on the internet. Everything we do is for brats. I'm like, yeah, you do know that these motherfuckers are gonna grow up, right? They're gonna grow out of this shit. You're gonna give them a toy, then they're gonna grow out of it. You know, you always hear like, you know, all these big tech sites like, we want to gear towards the younger generation. You know, you hear rock and metal doing that all the time. We want to gear rock and metal for the younger generation. Oh, hold up. Kids can't get in the fucking bar. Fuck you talking about? Heavy metal is adult stuff. It's talking about death and sex and all type of other stuff. That's not for kids and all of that. What do you want? You want heavy metal for the younger generation. I understand you want kids to play guitar, but some of the stuff we talk about in sepsis, I don't want my daughter to listen to my music. Hell no. Not until she's old enough and her brain is developed. When her brain is developing, sure. You got to remember, some kids can handle GTA, some can't. It's not like they all come default out the package. You know? We're all different. Anyways, search engines are broke. Google's supposed to be the most powerful search engine in the world. And they're announcing the other day that AI is now here in the search engine. What the hell does it do? So, okay, the search query, and you guys should do this too. Oh my God, the worldwide baby shark. That is awful. That is awful. I just read that. I'm reading it with my brain. Oh, delete, Control, Alt. Panic. What's going on? Okay. A black hole of nothing. Oh my God. God gave us a brain that in the future will become obsolete because we have to rely on machines and shit. Yo. What the hell? That's what I was saying the other day, Scott. It was like, now we're going to train the machines to make music and then listen to it for us. Like we don't make music anymore. My machine makes my music for me, and it dates my girlfriend. I asked my girlfriend the other day. I said, "Do you mind, if I date a robot, And I jump on, and she was gonna go buy me a robot, girlfriend. We sat there for a while. And like Melissa's showing me like all these robot chicks that I could date, because we were thinking like maybe do like a series on AI, and one of the chapters was going to be like me trying to like date, a robot girl. We thought it'd be hilarious. Initially, we thought, wow, that would be really great content, me saying the F word all the time. And then after a while, I was like, we were literally searching for an AI girlfriend to buy. That's how much we were excited about this whole idea. Until I was like, wait a minute. No. I'm not going to do this. And she's like, why not? It's fucking hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, it is funny for you. You know what I mean? And it's going to be funny for people that really know me. I said, but for people that don't know me, they're going to start to treat me like shit. They're going to start to judge me. And they're going to start thinking the way that I communicate with this AI robot, the way I'm making people laugh and the way I'm entertaining people with this and, and creating content online for it. I said, our fans are going to watch this. And some of our worst fucking fans are going to start taking my content, and judging my real personal behavior and while measuring the way that I'm communicating with this toy. I said, I know how people are online. I said, it's going to be funny. You know, we're going to dress her up and play, you know, and play with the AI girlfriend. And then I'm going to be really me. And I'm going to give my real opinion about the technology. I'm going to be open and honest, you know, and I'm going to speak freely, and I'm going to have my full personality on display. And then people are going to misunderstand that, misread that, and go, oh, that's the way that William treats human beings, and that's the way that William feels about life, and this is how William is with people. You feel what I'm saying? And so I was like, nah, man, fuck that. I'm not doing it, because people don't know how to act, and people are going to watch me defend humanity the same way I did the other day. They're going to watch me defend humanity and then take arms up against me by the way I'm talking about AI, because, by the way, artificial intelligence has been advertised to everybody that we're going to use it regardless, no matter what your opinion is. Right now, if your opinion is, I don't like AI, you're going to use it no matter what. If your opinion is like, I'm ready to embrace it, you're going to use it no matter what. It's like the internet. People that didn't like the internet, some people are like, I don't give a shit about the internet. I'm never going to use it. I'm old school. You're using it now. I remember people that were like, I don't use social media. I don't use AI and Facebook, and I don't use cell phones. I remember everybody, when cell phones came out, you guys got to remember, I'm older. When I was one of the first people with cell phones. When cell phones came out, I remember everybody saying, oh, I'll never use a cell phone. I'll never buy into that. They're spying on us. Not me, never me. I'll never buy into it. I can remember people saying, I'll never own a computer. I'll never have the internet in my home. I'll never have a camera on my phone. I'll never allow cameras to be on my street. I'll never allow cameras to be in every neighborhood. Whether you're going to Dunkin' Donuts, Walmart, or you're going through a toll booth, there's a camera on you. There's a camera on your next door neighbor. There's a camera in your house. There's cameras all in your apartment. What are you talking about? There's a camera on me right now. There's a camera right here. I've got 6 cameras just in this room. I think there's a total of 16, 17 cameras in my house. Not for surveillance, but like, you know, an actual camera, a web camera, you know, like cameras. What do you mean? I remember people say, I would never use AI, but the truth is, like, if you got a newer phone, you've already been using AI. Because you use it to, you know, you use your face or your thumbprint to open up access to all your accounts. So in order to gain access to all of your accounts, you have to use AI, facial recognition. The data has already been collected. You've been using AI. When you've been playing music on Spotify and shopping, artificial intelligence and algorithms have been gathering and computing and crunching and comparing your behaviors and entering that data into learning machines. That was years ago when you started using Netflix and, you know, looking up feet and stuff like that when nobody was looking. You know what I mean? The internet knows you more than I ever will. No, thank you, John. But, you know, the thing is, John, is, you know, people won't make that connection. Like, you will, because, you know, you have common sense. But a lot of people won't, bro. They won't. And not all of the people that follow our page are fans of our music. Not all the people that follow our page are fans of our information. Not all the people that troll or follow or keep our page updated. Not all the people paying attention to us like us or want us to succeed. You know what I mean? You know, we're a much smaller band than some of the other bands out there, but like, just look on Facebook. You know, if we have 40,000 followers on Facebook, we're only counting about 10% of those as our fans. You know. You see what I'm saying? So, like, out of 40,000, you know, we kind of look at our fan base more like 4,000. Does that make sense? Everybody else is just whatever they're doing. We don't know what they're doing. Yeah, robot people have we learned not from the Terminator? Damn, next thing you know is we'll have robots you can bang. Oh shit. To rip your head off. Oh my god. Yo, that's Yo, but that no, I don't think people are going to take over the world with robots really off the bat. I think the first thing, I was making a joke earlier, but I was like, the fact that you can't look up porn, or the fact that you can't do human stuff with this stuff, I mean, is a big disconnect. I can't look up bands. I can't look up. Anyways, 50 independent unsigned metal bands. The next in the search query, when the search query starts, it lands on Alternative Press magazine. Alternative Press doesn't cover independent unsigned bands, you know? They're not. What the fuck is this talk? I always get confused, like when I'm streaming with you guys and somebody sends me a message, it enters my brain weird. Like it's almost like they're interrupting me. I know they're not. I know I'm being a psychopath. I'm just saying it's almost like I'm talking with y'all and then they talk to me and I'm like, excuse me. You know, that's my initial. That's ridiculous. Please forgive me. So it goes to Alternative Press. And then the next is Reddit. Name a great unsigned band. And it has nothing to do with New Hampshire. It has nothing to do with bands. It has nothing. And then there are several other next search queries. Let me just put it to you this way. I challenge everybody to go on the most updated version of Google and look up your own hometown in your city and type in, 10 most popular, independent, unsigned metal bands wherever you live. And they won't be searchable. Why? So if you can't search for anything, then it's no good. Pepper Jam? Paper Jam. Paper Jam. Maybe you could put it in the link. I've never heard of it. But that, yeah, if you guys have better resources or things like that, man, put that in the chat. Because Google ain't it. Google is supposed to be a search engine, but it doesn't search for things. AI claims it is supposed to help us do what? Like, I understand it. It might be helpful in the medical, arena, or like if you're really trying to improve on advertising and sales. I see where AI can leverage copywriting and stuff like that. I understand that. But for most part, a lot of people are confused about AI in general. Like, the AI is not like internet. Like, the internet is something that, exists that you do. People haven't made the connection yet that AI isn't something that you do. So I think people are misunderstood when they look at AI products or features. They go, okay, I want to do it. No. You're not getting it. AI is you don't do it. And when I think about that, I go, what's fun about doing something so you don't have to do something? That's where we're at now. Like I want to be a singer and songwriter. All right, and start writing. Oh no, that's too hard. Hold on, I'm gonna get this AI machine. Okay, that's fine. But now you didn't do it, which is fine. I like. So AI is for people that don't want to do things. You know what I mean? There's still people out there that like doing things. So you need to have products for people that like doing things, and then there's products for people that don't like doing things. I think AI, starting off is a great product for people that don't do things and people that can't do things. But I don't think it's for people. If you're a person that does things, AI is going to be less for you. You know, because it's right as it is right now, it's advertised. The best parts of AI tools are for the super rich, wealthy developers and app builders. Let's get that understood. But consumer-based, commercial level AI, machine learning, and generative AI, as of right now, it's advertised to people that don't have abilities and talents or drive to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. As you can see in these examples, the new search experience, which is already in the process of being rolled out, it will provide generated answers to some queries ahead of actual web links. Like, why some? Why doesn't it know anything? It's Google. You know what I mean? It claims to know things. In the first example above, it provides tips on how to clean a sofa. In the second, a listing of yoga studios in a certain region. In the last, in an example of how the system can provide explainers based on image input. And the responses provided in every example are going to take traffic away from websites. Now, in some cases, that may not be so bad. What's wrong with just being able to search for what you're searching for? I don't get it. Why call it searching for something if the destination isn't the thing that you're searching for? Then it sucks. You know what I mean? If I'm searching for New England heavy metal, and that's not the final destination, anything else, if you put Raspberries in there, or bands from Old England, or bands from, then obviously the product is not at a quality. Why did they roll out these products when they don't do what they're supposed to do? Call it something else. Don't call it search. Just call it I guess. iGuess.com. You know what I mean? You put in the search query, and just like Google, it just throws popular shit at you, or paid sponsorships and advertisements. The internet is a flea market advertising market. You can't search for anything. You can only shop. And the responses provided in every example are going to take traffic away from websites. In some cases, it may not be so bad. Over time, the web has become so optimized for long-tail search queries that we now have an abundance of pages which provide answers to common questions in an attempt to suck in more traffic. Some of them are good, some less so, but the arrival of generative AI for text, more and more of these responses are going to be AI generated, linking potentially to spammy sites. We already have it. It's crazy. So maybe having centralized summaries of answers from trusted sources is better, in some cases at least. But it could also derail the traffic strategies of websites that have followed common best practices and provided in-depth answers to these types of questions on their site. Catering to all related queries is a good way to get more website traffic and then potentially more business as a result. But providing the same info direct in the SERP is going to kill that, making this less viable SEO approach. Presumably, there'll be other SEO processes that emerge as a result, and it's worth noting that these AI-generated summaries will not be shown for all queries, just those that Google detects as a good candidate for these replies. It will also be problematic for websites like Wikipedia, who glean a heap of traffic by matching informational queries. 80% of Google's search traffic is informational. as opposed to transactional products or navigational. You heard what I just said? 80% of Google's search traffic is informational. So why can't you search for things? Y'all getting what I'm saying with this? 80% of Google search traffic is informational as opposed to transactional products or navigational near me searches. And if a lot of those queries are now going to be answered in detail in Stream, that'll make it less necessary for users to click through to learn more, further limiting referrals. At the same time, Google is aware of the value of its search to core businesses and the need to maintain direct links in SERPs. In an announcement, Google has tried to play down these concerns, noting, quote, with AI overviews, people are visiting a greater diversity of websites for help with more complex questions. And we see that the links included in AI overviews get more clicks than if a page had appeared as a traditional web listing for that query. See, you'll get more traffic, not less. I mean, the author goes on and says that they wouldn't bet on it, but maybe in theory, if Google uses the regular ranking algorithm to decide where the generated answers come from, then include links to those sources in the summaries, that could still see people tapping through to learn more, if they want to. I would guess that a lot of queries are also fairly shallow. That's what I think. Me, William, that's what I think. And that users don't need to read too deep into them to understand. But Google's essentially saying that there will still be ways to generate traffic and that the impacts will likely be less than we expect. It seems possible that that there won't be some impacts, and depending on the scale of these new AI overviews, the reductions in referrals could be big. If top matches are still highlighted in the overview, maybe there won't be a shift as some people have anticipated. What do y'all think? Thank you, John, for putting it up. He says laziness, hands down. Yeah, I'm not for or against AI, you know? I'm not. I don't know, you know, it's still... like I said, you know, everybody said the same thing about cell phones. Everybody said the same thing, like when the internet came out, you know. I remember we bought Web TV, and I remember my neighbors coming over and being like, it's the devil, you know. They said the same thing with radio. They said the same thing with cell phones. They said the same thing with cameras. I'm sure they said the same thing about banks at one point, you know what I mean? So the first asshole who chiseled an image into a tablet or papyrus or something, he was probably, you know, hung for witchcraft. You know what I mean? You guys have a great rest of y'all Wednesday. I'm gonna go check and see what's going on, you know, for the temperature throughout the day. If it gets too hot, we may put a pause on the website. I mean, on the Honeycomb tonight, or choose to continue. I gotta call Zach back. He called, so go check it out. That's all. Scott says that's all Google is good for is finding porn. Somebody was telling me even that's difficult now. You guys have a great day. I'm going to, John. I'm going to. I couldn't finish it here. I tried. I got more music industry news and technology and social media discussions for tomorrow. I'll see you guys hopefully tonight on the Honeycomb Hideout. Thank you guys.